Hello, adventurers. My name's Tyler.
And I'm Richard.
On today's episode, we're talking about Daggerheart's playtest for the Assassin and Brawler. And to do that, yet again, we will jump into the void. Welcome to True Strike.
Howdy, folks, and welcome back to the show. Into the void. Once more, we go.
Yes, version 1.5.
Yes. So again, if there's any changes, we will link them or talk about them in a future video.
We legally required.
But for now,
to disclaim
this is the current status of the void for the two classes that we're talking about today.
Current, as in recording date.
Yes.
Yeah, y'all, if you checked in last week, you got to see the Witch and the Warlock. If you didn't listen to those, go check those out, because those had a whole new domain.
Yes.
And that Domain of Dread is amazing.
Yeah, is massive.
I'm very stoked.
Yeah.
Assassin and Brawler do not have a domain.
Do not have domains.
They have cool things.
They have domains, but they're existing domains already.
And Richard, specifically, has had a player who played a Brawler.
Yes, and
So he's got a lot to say.
In a week, I have a player that is also playing a Brawler again, because it's a very popular
But
one.
the other one.
But they're playing a different subclass, which we'll get to.
Yes, but first off, the Assassin. For looking here, we got the Midnight and Blade. If you are picking the Assassin, you got a start evasion of 12. I do tell you it's a 12 with a starting hit points of 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's there, and a very expansive hope feature.
Oh,
Grim
really?
Resolve. Spend 3 hope to clear 2 stress.
Full stop. Very concise.
But it works.
Straight to the point.
It's pretty one.
No fuss,
one,
no
though.
muss.
No muss at all.
Very good.
It's great.
3 for 2.
3 for 2.
I'll take it.
Stress, very, very valuable.
I will take
Hope
it.
You gain about half the time,
Yeah.
statistically. You should.
It's an interesting one because we talked about this a little bit last week when we talked about the one where you could spend your 3 hope to succeed with fear.
Yep.
On something, which seems like very relevant. This one is very dependent on you being stressed. So it's kind of like one of those ones that is very useful in the cases that it's going to be useful, but you may find yourself stacked with a little bit of hope if you're trying to use it because maybe you don't have stress a whole lot.
I mean, it just depends what domain cards and stuff you're taking. Are you stressing yourself out?
Yeah, true.
To fuel abilities.
But I like it. It's very straightforward, to the point.
Yeah, you know what? Let's dive into more reasons why you'd use some stress. First, in the class feature, we have Marked for Death. On a successful weapon attack, you can mark a stress to make the target marked for death. Attacks you make against the target that's marked for death gain a bonus deal. Bonus damage equal deal. That's where I got damage and equal equals deal. No, damage equal to 1d4 per tier. Neat.
Nice. I like it.
So, like, level 2, you're already at 2nd tier.
Mm-hmm.
So this is already just going to roll up. And hey, guess what? We're using stress already.
Yes.
It's also part of this is you can only have one adversary marked for death at a time and can't transfer or remove the condition except by defeating the target. So you're locked into them. The GM can spend a number of fear equal to your proficiency to remove the mark for death condition. So you're no longer locked into them. Otherwise, it ends automatically when you take a rest.
Okay.
This is fun because I'm like, all right, you. And the GM's like, no. I'm like, okay. But then you. And then they're like, And then you take a nap and you're like, who was it again? It's not that big of a deal. You also get the class feature, Get In and Get Out. Spend a hope to ask the GM for either a quick or inconspicuous way into or out of a building or structure you can see. The next roll you make that capitalizes on this information has advantage.
I love this ability.
Great. It's wonderful.
So fun.
Keep your GM on your toes.
Yes, it's so fun. And it's just like one of those, like, I'm going to use my ability to make you tell me a good way into this building.
Totally.
Which is just funny.
And it works. It's a good one.
Thematic and it's
and
cool.
it will come up when your GM forgets you have this ability.
Yes, 100%.
Anything cool on the assassin character guide?
Yes, I like the when you get to the bottom of the inventory, you can get a list of names with several names marked off, which is just fun. Or a mortar and pestle inscribed with a mysterious insignia.
That's not nearly as cool.
I like the list of names.
Yeah, 100%.
That one's cool.
Yep. Armor and everything's normal, makes sense. Character description, all this stuff makes sense for your typical, assassins and stuff.
Yeah, everything else there is pretty good. Yeah,
cool.
You just want to take us into our subclasses.
Absolutely. I will handle the Executioner's Guild, and you'll get the Poisoner's Guild.
Sure.
All right. For our foundation of the Executioner's Guild, the subclass for the Assassin, the spellcast trait here is going to be Agility. First, you get First Strike. The first time, I know, right? The first time in a scene you succeed on an attack roll, double the damage of the attack. Dig it. First attack of the scene, double damage, easy. Useful the whole game.
Yeah, all the time.
Always. Mm-hmm. As your proficiency increases, your damage goes up. This just does more. It's always good. Ambush is also part of the foundation. Your Marked for Death feature uses D6s instead of D4s. Interesting.
Just good.
I like that you get this so quickly.
Yeah, very quickly increasing your damage output. Yeah.
Yep. Next, we move up to the specialization. You get Death Strike. When you deal severe damage to a creature, you can mark a stress to make them mark an additional hit point. That is what I call absolutely worth it. Especially when you can unmark stress for hope.
Yeah, when you're unmarking stress for hope. Yeah, this is that aforementioned, stress machine that we talked about.
You also gain Scorpion's Poise. You gain a +2 bonus to your evasion against any attacks made by a creature marked for death. Marked for death is awesome.
Yes.
You are like the solo target machine.
Yeah, basically this is just hammering home the idea that you're picking a target. That is your target.
They're going to die.
Target. Yes.
Until you...
That's one of the names on your list.
Unless you fall asleep. Fades away.
And you forget that name.
Moving on to the Mastery of Executioner's Guild. You gain... Drumroll, video people you already know. True Strike!
True Strike is finally in Daggerheart. Yeah. We're relevant again.
We're back, baby.
We're back.
True Strike. Once per long rest, when you fail an attack roll, you can spend a hope to make it a success instead. It's cool.
That's cool.
You can spend a hope to just keep win. You win, no matter what. Once per rest. You're welcome. I'm sure they added this because of us.
True Strike is good.
Yeah. See? Backstab. Your Marked for Death feature uses D8s instead of D6s.
Climbing the ladder.
This is great. I do want to go ahead and start this off by saying thank you, Rowan Hall and Spencer Stark. I know you guys probably had to make some pretty big concessions over there at Daring to Press to get us into the game. They're probably going to get you a lot of flack from some of the higher ups there. I really appreciate you sticking out your necks for us. Jeremy Crawford is not a fan of Richard, and I'm sure he's giving you heck about it every day. And it means a lot.
I don't know what I did to
this for us.
I don't know what I did.
I know what you did. I don't even lie to them. They'll know. You want to handle Poisoner's Guild?
Yeah, sure. Poisoner's Guild. The first foundation here, spellcasting trait is knowledge. The very first thing we get is Toxic Concoctions. So you mark a stress and add 1d4 plus 1 tokens to this card. On your next long rest, you clear this card. You know these 3 poisons. You have Gorgon Root. The target gains a permanent -1 penalty to their difficulty. This can only affect them one time. You have Grave Spore. The target must also mark a stress. You have Leechweed. Gain 1d6 damage bonus on this attack. The next thing you get is Envenomate. When you make a successful weapon attack, you can spend a token from this card to afflict the target with a known poison's effect. So basically, you're learning 3 poisons, and then you are able to apply those poisons to your weapon attack, which is really, really cool.
Dig it.
The specialization gets you the Poison Compendium. You also know these potions, so you get some more. You get Midnight's Veil. The target gains a permanent -2 to the penalty to attack rolls. This can only affect them one time. Then you get Ghost Pedal. Permanently decrease the damage dice of the target's standard attack by 1 step. So a D10 to a D8, D8 to a D6, etc. This can only affect them once.
Good, though.
That's a really, really good poison, though. And then you get the Adder's Blessing, which means you are immune to poisons and other toxins, which is very cool. So you're just now straight up immune to poisons, and now you know a total of 5 poisons with this specialization.
This is going to be fun when the GM throws out like a rival Poisoners Guild member, and you're both ching ching immune.
No poisons. And then we move on to our mastery. You got Venomancers. So you know these poisons. So now first one you get is Blight Seed. The target gains a permanent -3 penalty to their damage thresholds. This can only affect them once. And then you have the Fear Leaf. This attack gains a damage bonus equal to the result of your fear die.
Brilliant.
Very cool. And the last thing you get is Twin Fang. When you afflict a target with a known poison's effect, you can spend an additional token to inflict the effect of a second known poison.
Awesome.
So this is just really, really cool. I love how it just stacks the poisons that you know and the efficacy of your poisons and your resistance to poisons. Very, very cool. I think out of the two, the Executioner and the Poisoners Guild is my favorite.
I figured it would be.
Yeah.
Because the role play and thematics here are endless.
Yes.
You're just gonna lean into that. I know you.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna be at home researching actual poisons and terms and stuff to come to the table to lay all this stuff on me, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, that makes sense.
The cool thing is all these are like weapon effects, but I'm going to be trying to sneak poisons in any kind of situation that I can.
Yeah.
Just because it's more fun that way.
If you don't think he's gonna poison 2 glasses.
Oh yeah.
And it'd be like, one of these is poisoned. No, it's happening 100%.
That's definitely happening.
It's like, I was immune the whole time.
The Assassin overall, I think, is really cool. I think the Executioner's Guild has a lot of just raw power behind it.
I would go Executioner's Guild for not just for Devil's Advocate and everything else. I would go Executioner's Guild. It has
True Strike.
Best. It has the best ability feature in the game with the mastery of True Strike. You can't beat it. It's just, it's obviously the best. But just from the get-go, having your double the damage off the jump, it has a lot of stuff you don't have to think as much about, and it leans into the Assassin hope ability of being able to remove that stress, which I really like.
Yeah.
It feels like this subclass just works hand in hand with the main class.
Yeah, it feels like a very laser-focused rogue.
Yes.
Basically is what it feels
like.
Rogues
already exist. Richard.
Rogues already exist. Assassin. But this, like I said, feels laser-focused because it's heavy, heavy damage. Yeah. It is like zeroing in on me. I'm going to pick somebody and I'm going to end that specific person.
Yeah.
Like that is my main goal, is to just drop that one person, which I think is great. I think that's fun. But I just like the idea of Poisoner better.
So, with the Assassin, I'm not, when I'm picturing my character, right? My dream character of playing this Assassin, I'm not going to be the sneaky hooded rogue figure. I'm like the Jason Voorhees. I am zeroing in, walking across the battlefield, and just going to town.
Just pointing at somebody and walking across straight to 100%. Them until you're in combat.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right.
Moving on. We go to the Brawler.
Richard has experience.
Which I have had experience with. So I have thoughts on this Brawler. Yep. Like I said, I have a new game coming up in a week now, and I have another player that has expressed interest in playing the other subclass of Brawler that I have not encountered yet.
He'll have lots of experience.
Soon I will have lots of experience
Brawler
with the
deep
Brawler.
dive.
So, Brawler, we have Bone and Valor. Their evasion starts at a 10, and their hit points start at 6.
Solid.
Their hope feature is called Staggering Strike. You can spend 3 hope when you succeed on an attack to temporarily stagger your target and force them to mark a stress. While staggered, they have disadvantage on attack rolls. Solid.
Have you ever had that happen to you when you were running a game?
Yes, I have. I have had this happen. It is a very, very good ability.
Yeah.
It is incredibly strong. Staggering Strikes is very, very cool. Their class feature is I am the weapon. So while you don't have any equipped weapons, you gain a +1 bonus to your evasion. So that evasion starts at a 10, but automatically jumps up to an 11 because you're not equipping a weapon.
Sweet.
Your unarmed strikes are considered melee weapons, and you use the trait of your choice, and they deal a D8 plus D6 physical damage using your proficiency. So this is all about just not using weapons, having a high evasion, and just punching the crap out of your adversaries. Their next thing is combo strikes. So you have 4 different combo strikes in here. You have D4, D6, D8, and D10. So after making a damage roll with a melee weapon, but before dealing the damage to the target, you can mark a stress to start a combo strike. When you do, you roll a combo die and note its value. Then you roll the combo die again. If the value of the second roll is equal to or greater than your first roll, you continue rolling until the latest combo die roll is less than the one that preceded it. Total all the rolls values and add that amount to your weapon's damage. These values cannot be adjusted by features that affect damage dice other than this, basically. Your combo die starts at a D4, and when you level up once per tier, you can use your advancement options to increase your combo die instead. So as one of your level up options, you can instead just make your combo die go up.
Yeah.
So this ability is incredibly powerful. And by the end of the one shot that I had, they had gone up. So he was running D6s, and there was a time where he just kept blowing up dice. Such good lucky rolls, and was able to pull off an incredibly nasty combo strike on one of my little solos. Very cool ability.
Oh, it sounds rad.
Super
as heck.
fun. And I just like that idea. It kind of reminds me of blowing up, right? From like Never Stop Blowing Up or whatever, where you just roll dice. You're not increasing the die size or anything like that. But it's the idea that like, going. I rolled a D4. Cool. I rolled a 4. I'm going to roll it again. Hey, look, I accidentally rolled another 4. I'm going to roll it again. Would you look at that? I got a 4. And then you just keep going and just building on the combo. Yeah. Very, very cool.
And the fact that you can increase that as you move up in tiers and stuff, rad.
For the character guide, there are 2 new things they get is hand wraps from your mentor or a book about your secret hobby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bakery.
The next thing you get
Bakery is a hobby. Fight me.
martial artists' martial forms. So brawlers get a whole new sheet that you print out on here that has tiers 1 through 4. And there's 2 stances that you choose per tier.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of different stances in here that we're going to go over real quick. And then basically the way that it works is at tier 1, you choose 2 stances. At tier 2, you choose another 2. At tier 3, you choose 2. And tier 4, you choose 2. And then you can drop into and out of these stances, basically using your martial artist forms and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Once you pick a stance, are you locked into that stance?
So yes, once you pick your 2 stances, those are your stances that you have the options
for that tier.
Yeah, for that tier.
Okay.
So on tier 1, for example, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stances or whatever. So you're picking 2 of those stances out of that list, and those are the stances that you're going to be rocking with essentially. Okay. Now, those stances are for the martial artists, for the martial form. Mm-hmm. If you're playing a Juggernaut, you are not getting access to these stances. So Juggernaut is a different type of player. Okay. You're still getting, like the obvious, the class feature and stuff like that. But Juggernaut has a whole separate set of abilities.
Okay.
So
let's say, let's go over this and then the martial artist,
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. So we can do that. And then we'll talk about those, and then we'll hit Juggernaut last, which is why I was kind of queuing that up. So the tier 1 stances, the first one is brutal. When you roll a maximum die value on a damage die, roll an additional damage die. So that's a cool one. So you're just basically stacking damage again. The next one you have is defensive. Attack rolls against you have disadvantage unless the adversary marks a stress. This one is way more powerful than it sounds. It sounds very easy to gloss over. I will tell you right now, this will be the bane of your existence as a GM if you're playing against a martial.
Would you say it's too strong?
No, I was able to account for it. But I did have to adjust my playstyle with my adversaries to do so. Because you have to imagine, when they're in this stance, you are at disadvantage to hit them.
Yeah.
Unless you mark that stress. So you're not required to mark that stress, but the likelihood of you hitting them is going to take a
and stress doesn't
significant
knock
hit.
him out of the stance.
No.
It's just
it
that one
just
attack.
allows you to actually do some attacking.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a very powerful ability, and it's one that I glossed over until I had to encounter it every single combat. And it made me sad. The next one we have is grappling. On a successful attack, you can spend a focus to make the target temporarily restrained. Very, very cool. Next one we have is steady. Gain a -1 penalty to your evasion. When you deal damage on a successful attack, roll an additional damage die and drop the lowest.
Good. Sweet.
Very,
okay,
very
you know
good.
what? That makes that -1 penalty evasion almost worth it.
And the next one you have is quick. When making an attack roll, spend a focus to include an additional target within range. Very cool. So you're basically just pop, pop, and then pop, pop to another one.
Pop, pop.
All right, now we move on to tier 2 stances. The first one we have is deadly. When you deal severe damage, the target marks an additional HP. So you're just rolling over more hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is hindering. On a successful attack, you can spend a focus to make the target temporarily hindered. While hindered, their attack rolls have a -2 penalty.
Whoa.
Crazy good. Next thing you have is invigorating. When you make a successful attack, roll a d4. On a 4, gain a focus. So you're just gaining focus. Next one is immovable. Gain a +2 bonus to your damage thresholds, and you cannot be moved unwillingly. That's crazy good. So basically locking yourself into place. Next thing we have is nimble. When an adversary makes a successful attack roll against you, you can spend a number of focus points up to your tier. Roll a number of d6s equal to 1 plus the focus spent. If any of the dice values match, you take no damage from the attack.
These are really good.
Yeah. Next one is otherworldly. You can choose whether to do physical or magic damage with your attacks, which is very valuable.
Legitimately really cool.
Legitimately valuable.
Yeah.
The last one is
you can punch
scary.
ghosts now.
Yeah, you can punch a ghost. Scary is successful attacks. Also force the target to mark a stress.
Like one, wow.
Yeah.
Second off, I like that it's scary stance.
It's just scary stance. What are you doing? I don't know, it's scary.
But wow, that's a tier 2?
Yeah, that's a tier 2 stance.
Hit them and they mark stress?
Hit them and they mark stress. Yep. Yep.
Oh, man.
Moving on to tier 3 stances. The first one is deflecting. When you're targeted by an attack, you can spend 2 focus to gain a bonus to your evasion equal to your armor score against the attack. So just deflecting attacks. Next one is devastating. Spend a focus before your attack roll to use d20s as your damage dice instead. Insanity.
This whole class, man,
hitting.
this subclass is wild.
Next one is dueling. Gain advantage on attack rolls when there are no other adversaries or allies in very close range of you or your target. Cool. Next one is compounding. When you roll the maximum value on a combo die, increase the subsequent combo dice you roll for the next attack at a maximum of d12s. So it does allow you to blow it up.
You would have to pick this.
Yes.
Ugh.
Next one is inexorable. Attacks against you have disadvantage if you have more than 2 adversaries in melee with you. Full stop. So this is just if you have a bunch of people around you, shift into this stance, everybody's hitting a disadvantage.
Wow.
Next one is favored. Add the trait of your choice to your damage roll. So that's just cool. And the last one in tier 3 is sheltering. When you mark an armor slot, it reduces damage for you and all allies within melee range of you who took the same damage.
Okay.
So this is for your AoE attacks and stuff like that, group swings.
This is sick.
Lastly, we have tier 4 stances. The first one is crushing. When you roll a 1 on a damage die, it can be treated as the highest value on the die instead. So the failure becomes an ultimate success. Next one is infuriating. On a successful attack, the target becomes furious. While furious, they are vulnerable and have a -2 penalty to their attack rolls. They can only clear furious by succeeded on an attack against you. That one is very key right there. So they have to succeed to hit you in order to clear that, which is very cool. Next one is sweeping. Your attacks targets all adversaries within close range and deal half damage to all targets you succeed against. So you're just bopping everyone. And the last one is discerning. You may choose the target of your attack after making your attack roll. The GM will tell you who the attack would succeed against.
Oh, they have to tell you.
Yes.
Sick.
Yeah. So that's really cool.
This is, we're not even to like, domain, you're picking your domain cards and stuff like that, which we're not going to go over in this.
Yes. Yeah. We're not even there yet.
Yeah. It's Bone and Valor. It's all stuff in the base game. We're not even to that. And this is like the most customizable class or subclass in the game.
Now, keep in mind, you're only choosing 2 of these stances per tier.
But yes,
insane amounts of...
Even if it was 1.
Yes.
You're picking 4, or you're getting 8 as is. And then the options.
The options are incredibly...
It's like they just couldn't stop.
They're just wide. Yeah, there's so many options. There's so many more than you actually need to choose from.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Lists
there could have been
half.
2 or 3.
Yeah, and it would be insanity.
Wow.
So the way these work is, so Martial Artist is the one that you'll pick if you want to use these stances. So the foundation of Martial Artist comes with Martial Form. So you take that Martial Form sheet. You start with 2 Martial stances from tier 1. So you choose those 2. When you reach a new tier, you take an additional 2 additional stances of your tier or lower. So you can go to previous tiers if you want to, or you can keep marching up the tiers. Now, focus. We didn't really touch on this because we started with the stances first.
Yep.
But this is where we kind of get into details of focus.
This is where the focus comes from.
This is where the focus comes from. So focus. During a rest, you roll a number of d6s equal to your instinct and place a number of focus tokens equal to the highest value rolled on this card. You spend a focus to shift into a stance until you take severe damage, the scene ends, or you mark your last hit points, or you shift into a different stance.
This is awesome.
So that's how you get your focus, and that's how you shift from stances. And then focus also does other stuff depending on the stances that you choose, because there's some that can allow you to increase damage. Your specialization for martial artists, the first one is keen defense. When you are targeted by an attack, you can spend a focus to give the attack roll disadvantage.
Okay.
Very, very cool.
That's one of those ones where I'm like, okay, the stance, to give all attacks against you disadvantage, blah, blah, blah. But that's the foresight.
But that's the
foresight.
This
is
reactionary, which is really cool. Spirit Blast, this one is fun. You spend a focus to make an instinct roll against an adversary within close range. On a success, you deal a d20 plus 3 magic damage using your proficiency. You can spend an additional focus to make them temporarily vulnerable. So this is your key blast, basically.
Sick.
And then the final thing, you have Mastery, Limit Breaker. Once per rest, you can perform an unbelievable feat, such as running across water, leaping distance between rooftops, or scaling the side of a building without needing to roll. When you do, you gain a hope and clear a stress.
What?
This one is just funny.
They're just like, once per rest, you just get to be awesome.
You could be awesome.
And we're going to reward you for doing it.
And we're going to reward you for doing the awesome thing.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Now, this one is the one that I have some experience with the playtest, and I will tell you that it is very powerful. Stances are hard to knock people out of. You got to do severe damage. That's pretty... that can be difficult to do sometimes. So you're either doing severe damage or you're waiting for them to shift out.
Yeah.
This one is very, very powerful, and it's a good class. Overpowered? I don't think it's overpowered in its current state.
You did say it made you sweat.
It did make me sweat, though.
Compared to the, main
the stock
game,
class.
Stock
yes,
classes,
the stock classes, absolutely. It made me sweat, and it did make me change things up a little bit. Yeah. But overall, very powerful, cool little class.
Yeah.
Do you want to cover Juggernaut?
Of course.
The last one?
Yeah, this one's, we don't got any, no fancy, stances and stuff we got to go through. We're just going to move to our foundation of the Juggernaut. These features here, you'll get to learn about this one very soon. But hey, here's what you get to look forward to. First off, you get the powerhouse for the foundation. It is increased D8 damage die for your unarmed attack to D10s.
Right off the jump. Rip.
Yeah. Additionally, you can mark a stress to target 2 creatures within melee range instead of a single attack roll. You also gain Overwhelm. On a successful attack, you can spend a hope to force the target to mark a stress, or to throw them within close range.
I already know this one is coming.
Yep.
I know this is coming.
If you get up there to the specialization for Juggernaut, you gain a couple things. First, being rugged. Gain a permanent +3 bonus to your severe damage threshold. Additionally, your powerhouse feature can target up to 3 creatures now instead of 2. So That means you're gonna add that, mark that stress, and then it's gonna be 3 instead of 2 now, which just makes it even more useful. You also gain eye for an eye when you mark more than 1 hit point from an attack in melee range. The attacker must make a reaction roll, DC 13. On a failure, once per rest, they immediately mark the same number of hit points in return.
Yeah, that's cool.
I thought it was gonna be like half.
No,
nope.
It's just same.
It's just same
eye for an eye.
Pop. Last, for the mastery of the Juggernaut, we get a couple things. First being Pummel Joy. When you critically succeed on a weapon attack in melee range, you gain an additional hope, clear an additional stress, and gain a +1 bonus to your proficiency for the attack. Sick.
Yeah.
Just pump up the crits. Last, you also gain Not Done Yet. When you mark more than 1 HP from an attack, you can gain a hope or clear a stress.
Which is insane.
This is so good.
Yeah.
This mastery might be one of the best masteries I've seen.
Juggernaut is very good. My initial reaction when I read through the Brawler subclasses was like, how can the Juggernaut stand up to the Marshal?
Right.
Because you get all those stances.
Gosh, yeah, it's insane.
But the Juggernaut's abilities, like Powerhouse, just right off the jump, raw damage.
Yeah.
Like raw damage, being able to hit multiple people, gaining plus bonuses to your severe damage thresholds, the eye for an eye ability. It holds up.
If you want to go,
it holds up.
If you want to go the melee class, but you don't want to put as much thought and planning into it.
Yeah.
Just hit people.
Much less thought and planning. It's just, I'm the Juggernaut.
And you're good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you really want to like min-max and like create your ideal character with your stances and everything, guess what? It's here for you.
Yeah.
Very powerful. Very
It
good.
is interesting that of all the playtest classes, I'm going to encounter both subclasses of one specific one.
Meanwhile, you and I wouldn't even...
No.
We straight to Warlock and
straight
Witch
to the
everything else
and all the other weird stuff. But yeah, I'm going to encounter the Brawler subclass 2 times.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they're very cool. I think my favorite out of this group is the martial artist.
I'm right there with you.
Got to be the martial artist.
Yeah.
Those stances, they're just built to make your GM sweat.
Yep.
And they will make you sweat. They made me sweat a lot.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked to see these change, but how much will they change? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's
balancing that many stances.
That's a lot of stances. I see them just removing some.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I see them just removing some of those options. I think there's far too many. I think they just threw a bunch of them against the wall and they're like, see what people like and what people don't like. And then
I'm wondering if there's going to be another way to remove people out of a stance. Instead of severe, maybe major.
I think that was probably the hardest part, was that I found myself trying to go after this martial artist to drop them out of stance.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't drop them out of stance, I was either stress stacking or I just couldn't hit them.
Yeah.
So it was like, it kind of forced my hand, and they became like one of the main focuses, like one of the main tanks, air quotes, of the group, was because, they were out there either pumping stress into me or just dodging attacks because of disadvantage and a good evasion.
Using all your fear in your turn, and
So yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with this one. I do think my official guess is that they'll probably remove some stances.
Okay.
And maybe balance a couple others, but I think they're definitely going to remove a large swath of stances.
I'm betting.
So
they make it easier to knock you out.
That could
maybe either spending a certain amount of fear.
Yeah.
Or major instead of severe.
I can see it.
But hey, if you disagree with any of that, or if we got anything wrong or skipped any of your favorite things, let us know down in the comments on YouTube or Spotify, or just message us, I don't know, on Blue Sky or Instagram or whatever. You guys do you. You know what to do. You know how this works. If you have anything positive to say, though, do that as well. It keeps those lanterns lit and everything else. I hope you're having a good day. Thanks for listening. This has been our Void talk so far. We will be sure to visit the Void whenever it gets updated. And if there's any major changes to this, we'll do some more videos in the future. If it's minor changes, maybe we'll just make a post here and there. So keep an eye on it for that. But for now, everyone, I've been Tyler.
And I've been Richard.
And we've been True Strike. See ya!
Bye.
Hey, adventurers. Thanks again for joining us today. Please be sure to give us a follow on your favorite podcasting platforms and YouTube. If there's any questions you'd like to write into the show, you can hit us up on Threads, Blue Sky, or Instagram. New episodes released every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for listening to True Strike.